On behalf of the Mastering Development Management Program, may I please call Martin Perez.
President Decree, Chairman Nazareno, Dean of the Institute, Ricardo Lim, Dean of the Center of Development Management, Juan Miguel Luz, Mrs. Winhofer, faculty and staff of the Asian Institute of Management, fellow graduates, our dearest parents and friends, good morning. It is my honor and privilege to speak on behalf of the Masters in Development Management class of 2013. Our class thanks the Institute, especially CDM, for bringing all of us together and guiding us throughout these past 11 months. To our professors and all the program staff, Dean Linden, we convey our deepest gratitude and love. And to Dean Luz and Dr. Paragua, the class also extends its congratulations, excitement, and fullest confidence as the school moves forward as the Stephens Wheeling School of Development Management. Let's give them a round of applause once again. The class appreciates that what we've had in the past 11 months is something that happens only once in a lifetime. We come from all over, whether you're a priest or a nurse, a teacher or a soldier, a policeman or an NGO worker, a community organizer in Myanmar, or an advocate for the Bangsamoro. We recognize that what we've had in the past 11 months may perhaps be the safest place it will ever be for the rest of our lives. Knowing the scale of the challenges ahead, we embrace this day with both a sense of fulfillment and a call for courage. Of AIM's many gifts to us, perhaps one of the most powerful is insight, the ability to see something that we did not see before. As we move forward, it feels apt to simply wish everyone well on their respective journeys. But true to insight, I feel that the word journey is not enough now. Instead, what we're all about to undertake feels more like a quest. What is the difference? A journey is solitary. A quest can be shared by a group as diverse as us, or as diverse as that between a man, an elf, a dwarf, and a hobbit. In the Lord of the Rings, one of my most favorite stories of all time, Tolkien is able to use the image of the quest very effectively. And I would like to lift some of these to illustrate what it means to be in development management. For starters, nobody does it alone. To rid the world of the cursed ring of power, Frodo needed a fellowship. After all, when you think about it, what is the competitive advantage of a hobbit? They do not have the empires of man, they do not have the culture of elves, nor the industry of dwarves. Many saw them as small and insignificant, and therefore perfect for bearing the artifact that would tempt so many others to power. But 1/3 through the epic, the fellowship was broken, and readers are made to follow two parallel stories. On one hand, we have the hobbits moving on, going to Mount Doom. On the other hand, a cohort of a man, an elf, and a dwarf band together and try to restore a lost kingdom. But what is noteworthy here is that even though their stories went further apart, the impact on each other remained profoundly powerful. The quest to destroy the One Ring has led many of our heroes to different trajectories, and yet they maintained the same hopes and aspirations, believing in each other until the job was done. I I remember a conversation I had with a professor in economics halfway through MDM. Class was already out, and I was consulting on a paper my learning team had to finish off. Somehow he ended up interviewing me instead about what I was doing as a teacher. Then we started talking about education and its power, to be a catalyst for change and development in the country. He then talked about his idea, his big idea, and said that, what if we change the paradigm a bit? Then he talked about Harvard, he talked about Stanford and Oxford, universities which began as college towns in the middle of nowhere, but bringing the best and the brightest, and in order to see development in the respective regions. So he was asking me, what if we do the same for the Mountain Province, for Central Visayas, for Mindanao? What if instead of concentrating the best schools in Manila, we bring them all over the country? As I was trying to digest what he was saying, I started to think about my stakeholder analysis. I was starting to think now, oh my God, I have to mobilize all these businesses, all these governments. You have to change behavior, you have to do your social marketing, you have to convince the bright kids in Manila to move off to Bangsamoro. Okay, so that will take quite a lot of social marketing. So I simply replied to him, Professor, I think that's too big, sir. And then he simply said to me, that's the problem, Martin. I haven't seen a big idea in this country in the past 15 years. But what he said next made it worse. But that's why you guys are here. I was overwhelmed then, as probably a hobbit would have been. But as the months wore on, it became evident that the same conversations were happening in public health, climate change, social enterprise, peace and order, national security, the growth of China, and the development of Mindanao. The challenge of development management is really about spurring, enabling, and leading collective action. Development is a quest, and we risk failure whenever we attempt to go it alone. I'm honored to be part of an institute that knows this. CDM was born precisely as a business school's response to the development challenges of the region. Our work continues on, even as we see waves of economic growth throughout the region. What we're dealing with now is not just poverty, but even the more deeply rooted problems of inequity in all its forms. Here in AIM, we speak about leadership as an act of bridging the divides. And as the Institute pursues a strategy of ASEAN leadership, there will have to be a convergence between business and development to the point where, like Lord of the Rings, one story cannot be told without the other. Beyond concerns of profitability and sustainability, there will have to be a mindfulness for humanity. And as we scale ourselves up, the question becomes less about the margins and more about, are we making a difference from where we are? This is all big work, but this is why we are here. The fellowship may be coming to an end, but today we also meet for the first time as graduates of AIM. Our stories, whether MBA, EMBA, or MDM, will now run in parallel with one another, no matter the sectors or industries we find ourselves in, no matter the corporations, companies, or governments that decide to take us in. Thus, in each other's work, may we find the confidence and belief that the world can indeed be a better place. In each other's work, may we find the inspiration to be our best selves and to become the change we seek. Let us not be daunted by this task. To end, I conclude with the words of a poet, Marion Williamson, as a reminder of our responsibilities to ourselves and to others. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Our playing small does not serve the world. We are all meant to shine as children do. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you very much.